Hey there guys, I am SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Splatoon 2 Octo expansion. Last time, we finished up all of the stations here in the I line, so now we're ready to go ahead and start a new line here in the Deep Sea Metro. You know what that means? New line, new Octarian design. This time around, we're rocking the other hairstyle for the boy Octoling here, the Afro. So at this point, now you've seen all 4 of the different designs for the Octarians here in the Octo expansion. So, with that, let's go ahead and start a new level here. We could go down to our next thing. We have a direct route to it, but I like taking the long way. Let's go ahead and jump into the G line here with, I know now why you ink, Hasta la Vista station. So here we have a choice of 3 weapons. We can use the Heavy Splatling, Rapid Blaster Pro, or the Dynamo Roller. None of these have a sub-weapon of any kind, but let's go ahead and start this test off with the recommended weapon, the Heavy Splatling. Please defeat all the enemies. You'll want to keep a careful eye on the movement of your foes. And don't be shy about hiding behind crates to defend yourself from enemy fire. Take care out there. Let's go ahead and begin the test. So jumping in, we see we have 3 minutes to terminate all of the enemies. First things first, I'm just going to go ahead and ink the wall down here, as now we have a good escape if things get a little too hairy up above. We'll go ahead and shoot this balloon as we see here because it reveals a set of armor. So jumping up above, now we start the mission. I know there's a lot of them, but stay focused and get it done. Will do, Marina. So keep your distance here, and as we were told from Sea Cucumber, if you need to, hide behind these boxes, but you gotta be careful as these enemy shots will destroy the crates. So you can't just rely on hiding behind boxes, as that won't keep you safe forever. These guys aren't pulling any punches. Neither am I, Cuttlefish. Neither am I. Charge up some shots here. At this point, we're pretty much out of ink, so we're best off just waiting a moment. Charge back up. Now let's just go ahead and take out these enemies. Lost our armor in the process, but it's alright. We didn't die, so that's the plus. Look out and step back. If we're not careful, we can easily get shot, but over here we revealed a special, the Stingray. Enemy airships are now spotted, and with this, we're going to use our Stingray to attack these airships. And with this, we're going to go ahead and charge and pass the test. Stingray makes this final section a heck of a lot easier. If you're good with your aim, then you can take out both enemies with just that one special. If you're not though, then there are some ink walls around them, so you will have to shoot the ink walls before you shoot the auto commanders. But with that, let's head back into Hasta la Vista station to complete it with the other 2 weapons. So back in Hasta la Vista, let's go ahead and select the easier of the 3 weapon types here to use, the Rapid Blaster Pro. So since this one does pay out less than the Heavy Splatling, as you can imagine, it is supposed to be an easier weapon to complete the said mission, but in my opinion, I do find the easiest weapon here to use will be the Heavy Splatling, just because of how much damage it can do over time. It's a really bad spot for that set of armor to land. So, just gonna leave it there until it falls down to me. We're gonna be very careful with our ink consumption here, but at the same time, hide in the ink after you do a shot. That way you'll get your ink right back up. And one thing I like doing with blasters is I like to constantly move around in my ink and then surprise my foes. This way I keep my charge on my ink pack, but at the same time, it makes moving around a lot faster, as you don't really move that fast when you're shooting a blaster of any kind. So the jump and shoot method with blasters is one of the better ways of attacking enemies. There we go, we just killed the last of the enemies from that round, so now we got the big old enemies here. Got some bombs coming our way, we got a set of missiles being shot down from the sky. At this point, we're gonna just take things a little easier because we're about ready to die, so get our set of armor back. Almost lost it a second time, that would have been bad. But let's grab our Stingray, and let's get out of here before we're shot. Activate the Stingray, and let her rip. One's down, 1 more to go, and there you go, test is passed. So that's the Rapid Blaster Pro. Pretty easy weapon to use here, but there's one more weapon left, and that's the Dynamo Roller. So back in Hasta La Vista Station, let's select their last weapon here, the Dynamo Roller. As you can imagine from its payout, this is considered the hardest of the 3 weapons to use for this said test, and it's just because of the nature of the Dynamo Roller. We've already used this weapon in a previous station, but if you haven't seen the Dynamo Roller before, the gist of it is, this thing has a very powerful fling with a long range, but it has a very long wind-up time. So this is a harder weapon to use in a lot of ways, which is why you don't see that many people use Dynamo Rollers if they are accustomed to the said roller type. It's a more situational weapon. It very will depend on the mode for how useful this can be. But for something like this, we can take out a lot of enemies in one swing. We just have to be very careful about where we're located here in comparison to the enemy fire, because one wrong move, and we won't be able to get out of the way fast enough while trying to fling with our roller. Take out the last of the fries here, and with that, we're done with wave 1. Now into wave 2 here. Trying to get my shot out so we can actually hit the guy in the back, but unfortunately it didn't really work in my favor. This is why it's best to make a set of ink down below near the checkpoint as a good escape route. Because now we can just fall under the grates, wait down below to recharge our ink, and then immediately climb back up when it's fully charged. Last enemy down, break open the crate with our special, grab our Stingray, and get out of here. Go ahead, charge her up, and attack. Just like the other 2 attempts, Stingray is our best way of defeating these Octo commanders, making this so much easier. I should mention that on the UFO closest to the platforms that you are on, the enemy will drop an ink refill, so you can jump straight to that platform and immediately refill your ink with that said item. But that's that test complete, so let's check out the mem cake we just got from it. It's a 10 attack. Our sweet dripping from enemy pore. The harsh, hot sun won't stop this run. We grit our teeth and ask for more. That is the Splatoon way. Every time I play one game, I gotta play 10 more. I just can't stop. Someone help. Good symbol, though, to represent the Splatoon world, as this is one of the more represented brands in the Splatoon merchandise world. So, pretty fitting thing for us to get here. I definitely say it's one of the more iconic things you see on gear in Splatoon. But that's our said mem cake there. Let's go ahead and move on to No Kiddin' or Playing, the House Party Station. So here we have a choice of 2 weapons, the E-Liter 4K Scope and Curling Bomb, or just a standard old E-Liter 4K and Curling Bomb, no scope. They both cost the exact same, and essentially they are the exact same weapon, just one with a scope and one without. But we're going to go ahead and start off with the recommended version of the E-Liter here, the E-Liter 4K Scope. Please defeat all 10 Octo Snipers. You must hide, move, and wait for the right moments to attack. Curling bombs will help you move around and should also come in handy as decoys. And if you're comfortable storing charges, I recommend not using a scoped weapon. That said, scope weapons will have a bit more range. Take care out there. Let's go ahead and begin the test. So C. Cucumber said, this test is more of a preference for which weapon you want to use. Scope versus no scope is going to change things ever so slightly, but we're going to go with that range to start, hence why we're using a version that does have a scope. Okay, here's the first 2. Take cover behind walls, and when the enemy pauses, let him have it. Nice work. Okay, now's a good time to do a little ink swimming recon. And with that, here's 3 more enemies. So, since we can't charge our ink and then shoot at the same time, unlike the other E-Liter here, we're going to want to get our aim just right, and then just barely move in frame to attack our said enemy. But be careful here, you do have crates around you that can act as a shield, so that definitely can help. Our curling bombs can also be used as a good distraction, if you're not bad with the aim with the curling bomb, as the enemies will aim for those before they aim for you, if you're still behind cover. But now, that's that wave done, here comes 4 more. This guy's a little out of our view, so I'm going to get a little bit closer here. Get out of the way. Shoot this sniper before he shoots me. There's one over in our back corner. And there's one more left, so we're going to ink around us just so we have some movement. Charge up. shoot you at the same time you're shooting me. Last wave incoming. Scope out your surroundings. What the heck? Yeah, this is different. The walls came down. And then this guy's on a UFO. Finishing up on a UFO, are we? Well, you know what to do. Shoot out of the sky. Problem with the UFO here is that this Octo Sniper is really far out of range, so just wait for him to come to you. Then let him have it with your E-Leader. But there you go, House Party Station is complete. Well, you know the drill. It's not 100% complete. Even though we gotta use basically the exact same weapon, we're going back to use the other scope. So let's head back into House Party Station. Back in House Party Station, let's select the E-Leader 4K without the scope this time around, and begin our said test. So using the scope version of this weapon, we have more range, but the downside is we can't charge a shot and then immediately go in our ink. Using a version of the E-Leader 4K without a scope, we can keep a charge shot coming out of our ink, which in my opinion actually makes this mission a lot easier. If you're more comfortable with the idea of charging your ink and then swimming around with it with a fully charged shot, then this weapon is easier to use. But keep in mind, you cannot store charge forever. You can only hold a charge for a very small handful of seconds. So be very mindful with your shots here. But we can do a lot more fancier movement tech here, making things actually kind of safer for us in a lot of ways. Now, in my opinion, I kind of recommend using the E-Leader 4K without a scope here, compared to the scope weapon. Just simply because we can charge a shot and then immediately pop right in front of one of these snipers and take them out, making this a lot safer. I'm saying it's a lot safer as I'm all around enemy fire, dodging it as best as I can. Not the greatest example here, and I immediately lose my health, but hey, you get the idea. It does work out better. It's just one of those situations where mileage may vary. If you're better with the charge, go with this. If you're not, then go with the scope weapon. There we go, last wave incoming. I also find it a little bit easier at times not to even use curling bombs and just kind of hide behind cover and then pop out. Simply just because sometimes the curling bombs, just due to their nature, it's a little bit harder to aim with those things in a way that's going to make them better to use as a distraction. But there you go, we completed the House Party Station with both E-Leader 4K weapons. So now we're done with the scopes and the no scopes. Let's see that mem cake we just got from that said station. It's a Zekko! I hate the sea but love the breeze. The sandy shore I will endure, just for that brisk, zephyrous tease. I mean, you don't need to really like the beach to want to go to the beach. Just seeing that view is sometimes all you really need. I guess this is a symbol of going to the beach at that point. I don't get the association, but hey, one of these Inklings is going to have the association with this said brand symbol. I get the idea. Nice symbol, though. Well, with that, we completed 2 levels here on the G line, and we only have 3 more left. Yeah, we kind of already made a good amount of headway with this because of links between the B lines here, the A line, and even the I line. So, yeah, we're not going to be here that much longer. Which is good, because we got our thing literally next door, which is taking a long way to get to it. But we'll continue making our way down the G line in the next episode. Next time on Let's Play Splatoon 2 Octo Expansion, we'll continue making our way down the G line here. I'll see you guys next time.